Thanks for watching our Mary Jane journey, filmed by Thomas Weir Videography in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. This is a raw, unscripted interview. According to her doctors, Mary Jane should be dead. She has outlived the projections of her entire medical teams, and she's done so with grace and style, fighting spirit, and an extremely positive outlook. This is not just about another woman with cancer. It's not just about losing her hair, her personal dignity at times, and not even recognizing herself as she passes a mirror. No, it's about how she somehow, inside of her spirit, found ways to be happy, joyful, regardless of the diagnosis, while life just goes on for others. This is about a woman with courage and insurmountable odds. This video will expose a loss that is greater than most people could bear. And yes, she is still fighting cancer as we speak. No matter what you're going through, she tells you to keep on smiling, belly laughing, and most important, embracing hope. She wants to tell you about her covert power that has seen her through. So buckle up, we're going for a ride. This was not an easy interview for Mary Jane to do. So the next 3 videos are intimate, heartwarming, but wrapped in hope. Thank you, Mary Jane, for doing this. I know this interview format's not easy to really talk about for somebody that's going through what you're going through and what you have gone through. So thank you, because I know you well enough to know that your heart is full of joy and all you want to do is help other people get through some of these ridiculous situations, you know.
Yes,
and
you.
Mary Jane and I have known each other for, oh gosh, 27 years or so, isn't it?
Yeah, a long time.
Yeah, we sat in choir together and we sang together. We were the alto section. There's about 3 or 4 of us that did that, and that was us, right?
That was us.
I mean, we drove our director crazy. But anyway, so we go back a long way. Our friendship is tried and true and of the Lord, for sure.
It is. And don't forget, I used to work for you.
Oh yeah, that's right. And yeah, we used to work together
20 years ago.
Now you're aging us. That's a little too much. That's too much information for these people who really don't care. Let's talk about the diagnosis that you received on April 20th, 2015.
On April 20th, I went in for my routine mammogram, which everybody should do yearly if you are of the age. Just routine.
Yeah.
Went in, went out, came home, didn't think about it.
Then what happened?
Well, then I got a phone call that I had to come back, that they needed another screen. It was 4 days later, and so they did a 3D mammogram. So I went home after the 3D mammogram, just really not thinking anything.
Biopsy, the first part of May, right?
First part of May, May 8th, I had a biopsy. They biopsied 2 of the 3 tumors in my left breast and 1 lymph node. And of course, they came back positive.
Let me ask a funny question.
Okay.
Was the biopsy painful?
No, they numbed you up really good, really long needles. And it was fairly quick. The doctor told me it was going to be a 3-hour procedure, 1 hour for each of the biopsies, and it was only an hour and a half. And I asked her why it was so quick, and she says because I was so calm. And she asked why I was so calm, and I told her it's because I know Jesus.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. She was not a Jesus person.
It went right over her head.
Went right over her head. Sometimes that happens, yeah. So now you've got the biopsy. The results are coming in around what?
Received the results on May 13th.
Okay.
Went into Carol Milgard Breast Center and spoke with Jennifer, the nurse there, who's absolutely wonderful. That it did come back positive for breast cancer. But she wasn't able to give the stage or the type of cancer. She also couldn't recommend a surgeon or an oncologist for me because they're an independent business
provider.
So I told her who I had researched and chose from there.
So your world kind of went upside down.
It did. It did.
And your husband, Ron, well, we haven't talked about Ron yet, but she has this great husband named Ron who's been by her side through the whole thing.
Through thick and thin.
Thick and thin. So what happened then? I mean, I know you and Ron probably had prayer about it and you talked about it. And
we did. I think we were a little bit shell-shocked.
Yeah.
From the get-go. It's something that you know is there, but you never think that you're going to get it.
Yeah.
So we did all of those. We prayed, we cried, we talked, we prayed, we prayed, we prayed. But one really great thing that Ron did, before any of this all happened, he told me on May 14th, which happens to be our son's birthday, that he had to go up to the airport to pick up a part for work, which is really unusual. And so I said, okay. And he said, do you want to go and we'll go have breakfast? And I said, okay. So we get up to the airport and he was very confused. And he was not knowing where to go.
Which is not Ron.
It's not Ron. And the reason why he was confused is because he had flown my daughter and 1-year-old grandson, or 2-year-old grandson, home to surprise me for Mother's Day.
Oh, wow. So
Megan was here.
You get this news. Now, all of a sudden, talk about God's timing. And then
Perfect.
Your daughter comes. Wow.
Perfect timing.
So I assume after that you met with an oncologist?
Well, actually, the next appointment, the day after I met with Jennifer at Carroll Milgard, was with my breast surgeon, Dr. Clark.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I was staged at 2A, triple negative breast cancer.
Triple negative. Now, what exactly does that mean?
Well, there's several different types of breast cancer. Triple negative is negative for estrogen, it's negative for progesterone, and it's negative for a virus called HER2. So basically it's very aggressive because they don't know what feeds it.
Not good. So what happened after that?
After that, I had an appointment with my oncologist,
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Senecal, on May 20th. And he actually went through the protocol of what my whole treatment plan would be, which was long.
Yeah. Long, huh?
It's long. It's overwhelming. You get a college degree's education in a very short period of time when you're learning all about a disease that you have in your body.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, that's what they call forced education, I guess.
Definitely.
Wow. So you met with an oncologist, obviously, and what took
Yes.
place? What did he tell you?
So I met with him on the 20th of May.
Mm-hmm.
And so he went through just all of my options,
Mm-hmm.
exactly what this cancer is,
Mm-hmm.
how aggressive it was,
Mm-hmm.
that I would be having 16 chemotherapy treatments, then I would have mastectomy with reconstruction, then I would have 33 radiation treatments, and then I would have a final reconstruction. So it's a long, long process.
Wow. Wow. So now I've not had breast cancer, but I've heard that they put some kind of port or something.
Yes, for the chemotherapy, some of it can basically blast out your veins.
Oh,
So the
it-
port is right here.
oh, I see.
So I had to have a surgery to have that placed.
So when ow,
Oh, it doesn't hurt.
it doesn't hurt.
No.
So when you go in for chemotherapy,
They access the port.
They just put the needle
Put the
in.
needle
the
in.
port.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And then
16 times you had to do that, huh?
16 times. Well, the first.
What exactly? what exactly does a chemo do? I mean, is you sit there forever while chemo goes through your body, or kind of?
It feels like forever.
Yeah.
The first.
Well, I've taken you a couple of times, so I kind of know it's almost forever sometimes for you.
Have. Right.
So,
well, my first round of chemo was with what they call the Red Death. Adriamycin and Cytoxin are the two drugs that were used. Chemo's poison that is going in to kill the cancer cells. Unfortunately, it kills good stuff in your body also. And I tolerated that chemotherapy really well. After that, I had 12 Taxol was the next chemotherapy, 12 treatments of Taxol, and handled that really well. Was never sick.
you didn't get sick?
I didn't get sick once.
I thought everybody got really sick with chemo.
I think God has me protected.
God has you protected. Well, obviously He does. Yes, yes. I can't believe. What do you credit that to? Do you know? Just God?
I did take a juice from a company called Zingular. It's called Global Blend. And my friend Marcia that told me about this said that every person she knows on chemotherapy that drank this juice didn't get sick.
Oh, wow.
So my numbers added.
So now, most of these chemo treatments were like 2 hours long. Is that about right? Somewhere
2 to 5.
2 to 5. 2 to 5 hours.
2 to 5 hours, depending on what the drug was.
Tell me about some of the people you met there.
Oh my gosh. People think that the chemo room is a sad and depressing place, and it's not. I've met so many wonderful people. You interact, you know, sometimes you're on the same schedules, the same date, same time, and you get to talking to these people and you find out what their cancer is. You find out about their families, about their lives, they find out about yours. I have one gal, Patricia, that I met the first day, and we've been chatting ever since.
Really? Well, it has been a crazy year for 2015,
It has.
right? So we've gone through the diagnosis and all the surgeries and the reconstruction and putting in those little hoochie things that you've got going in there to try to make things work. You know, what keeps you so positive and what keeps your outlook so forward? I just don't understand. I mean, I would be crying in forever.
You know, we never know how we're going to react to a given situation, but it's faith. It's my strong, strong faith in our Lord Jesus Christ that keeps me going.
Yeah.
And also my family and friends. And because of my faith, I have wonderful family and friends. And I've been blessed beyond measure.
Wow. Wow.
We're not immune from getting a disease.
So you're not really kind of mad at God for all this?
I've never been mad at God. Never. Not once. Not once. You can get a cold. You can get ALS. You can have any one of a number of diseases. Are you going to let that change your attitude? Are you going to let it change who you are? I just didn't want to be the person in the grocery store that someone would see and not want to talk to me because I was depressing.
Oh. Wow.
They didn't want to hear a sob story. So I decided I was going to be me. That cancer was not going to change who I was. And that I was going to carry on my life the way I always did.
Wow. Thank you for putting me in my place. That's an awesome, that was very well described. Thank you, Mary Jane.
Thank you,
Thank
Kenny.
you so much. Thank you for watching the video. We hope you will view the next one coming up. I would like to tell you things get better for her, but not really. Life just keeps throwing the book at her. I trust you're enjoying getting to know her a little better and grasp the unbridled hope and joy and peace that possesses her spirit in spite of the diagnosis or the upcoming challenges. Because let me tell you, the challenges that lie ahead for Mary Jane and her disease and her life will just continue to mount.